SummerSlam Night 1 is in the books, and this is your one take, one shot review where I do it immediately following SummerSlam Night 1. No cuts, no edits, you get my gut reaction. And this belt on my shoulder, as a bonus for watching this video, you can win it. All you got to do to win is comment below and subscribe to the channel. That applies to any video on this channel, actually. Just comment and you can win. At 30,000 subscribers, going to give it away on my quest to quit my day job. And people, it's not a toy, it's a replica, and it can be yours. Did that a little out of order, but whatever. And it's free shipping, free everything, anywhere in the world. All right, so tonight was, I think it was 105 nights without any title defenses from Liv Morgan, but she finally did it. She defended the women's world title and she won. She actually beat Io Sky. She was wearing a t-shirt of Rhea Ripley, just being all like, you know, pouty face from 2 years ago when she beat Rhea Ripley and stole Dirty Dom. Can you believe it? Those two have been together for 2 years. What a bunch of lovebirds those two are. But yes, Liv Morgan fought Io Sky, and this match was really good. The best counter I've ever seen of the Oblivion, where we go for the Oblivion and then Io Sky does like the handstand out of it, the somersault out of it. Really good stuff right there. Solid matchup. Io Sky is one of the few wrestlers who, when she botches something, she almost makes it seamless right into the next move. She has such good reflexes, ring awareness, ring IQ, whatever you want to call it. I just don't, she was trying to get out of the ring and she kind of slipped up, but she was like, in no time, it was back and very seamless. It's almost like if you blinked, you wouldn't have caught her screw up. This was just a solid match. Now, it is a Judgment Day match, so by law, you have to have shenanigans. You had Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez did kind of get involved for a hot second, but a moonsault later, and they were gone. So it was very little interference, almost to the point where it didn't really affect the outcome of the match. Now, I am surprised that we allowed Liv to continue. I figured we were just going to take the belt off her to do a hard reset of the women's division, because 105 days, I love Liv Morgan. I absolutely love Liv Morgan. I know it's cool to hate on her nowadays. I think after you've been in WWE for like 3 years, you're just supposed to hate on them. But I'm still a huge Liv Morgan fan. I also really like Io Sky. But so like, I'm not mad that she kept the title, but I'm just surprised because 105 days. Whether I like her or not, I think that is unacceptable without a title reign. I do feel they should have just done a hard reset of the women's division, even if it was Io Sky wins tonight and then loses on Raw, because then we can just say, okay, Liv Morgan, her title reign now starts. But no, we didn't do it. And so, yeah, it was a great match, though. It was a solid match. The knees did not come into play as much as I thought they would, you know, leading up to SummerSlam. It seemed like, sorry, I got some lettuce in my teeth. I thought that the knees were going to come in place because it seemed like Io Sky, since the Queen of the Ring, has kind of been like nursing her knee here and there. And at one point tonight, it did seem like when she ran her knees into Liv Morgan's head while she was next to the ring post. But other than that, it didn't come into play. And I just got to say, overall, solid match. It was probably... Was it the best match of the night? It might have been the best match of the night if you didn't, like, if you were not emotionally invested in things like Nick Aldis and Gunther. That match was, I was really invested, my heartstrings were really invested in that match, so I actually liked that match more. But when you just say in a vacuum, no emotions whatsoever, Liv Morgan, Io Sky might have been match of the night, just from a technical standpoint. So, like, definitely go watch it. Definitely go watch it. It was weird at the end. They cut to Io Sky kind of just, like, super sad. And I was like, why are we cutting to her face right now? If we're not gonna, like, let her have a standing ovation, just keep the camera on Liv Morgan so we can see her celebrating. And, of course, Liv Morgan was obnoxious, saying she's the best women's world champion in the world. And, but you know what? She's a heel. Like, I feel heels should be annoying. And you want to, like, you know, you want your girlfriend to punch them in the face, because I'm a guy. I would never punch her in the face. But yeah, Liv Morgan won. Io Sky, great match. I do recommend it. And in fact, all the matches on SummerSlam were pretty decent. For the build going into SummerSlam, it sucked. The build to SummerSlam absolutely sucked, but the matches themselves, they really showed out. Like, I gave almost every build an F. Like, that build right there, I gave it an F on Wednesday, saying this match, like, the animosity, the feud itself sucks, but the match, now I'm giving it an A. So the build sucks, D, F, match A. Loved it. Our next match of the night was the match I actually kind of really wanted to see, because somehow, some way, they made the 6-man tag match of Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, yeah, Royce Keys versus the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, and Jacob Fatu. I had some high expectations for this match because I was enjoying the character work of LA Knight, Jacob Fatu, and Solo Sikoa, and honestly, it lived up to the hype. Now, we did have a blatant, like, Gears of War, like, statue, and like, we had to see this promo of it, which was kind of lame and stupid, but at least they didn't come out in, like, Gear of War outfits or anything. We didn't have any of that. It was just there. And the ring apron was atrocious. Like, an advertising company threw up on the ring apron. And there were too many commercials. You know, I pay $30 a month for wrestling, and I still have to sit through commercials. So, like, yes, the commercials suck. But at this point, I think I'm desensitized by it, so it didn't, like, really damper my experience. But I'm also streaming live, so when that stuff is going on, I'm kind of talking to my subscribers and stuff. So, like, if I was just at home, though, if I was at home eating a slice of pizza and just, like, watching wrestling, I would probably be annoyed as all get out. Okay? At least they weren't doing commercials during the matches, but, like, the commercials, you know, come on. We pay $30 a month. Give me a break here. Anyways, in America, that is. Everywhere else in the world, you get it on Netflix. But, so, yeah, the advertisement thing is still a pain in the butt and will prevent it from becoming a 10 PLE. But then we go to the 6-man tag match. Jacob comes out with a werewolf mask. He looked really cool. They did some camera work where it looked like Jay was kind of like, you know, it was like Jay was kind of like walking him a little bit, but not like in a stupid way, in a like an attack dog kind of way. I just really liked it. Solo Sikoa was the star. He stole the show. One time he started yeeting. He was like, let's run it back. And he started yeeting. That was hilarious. He did Solo Sikoa's thing. That was hilarious. Royce Keys did, like, he had trouble getting Jimmy off, like, the second rope to a power slam, so that was a little awkward, but he more than made up for it. When Jacob Fatu was running at him to do that barricade thing on the outside, Royce Keys grabbed him and then power slammed him over it, and oh my gosh, it looked wicked. LA Knight was the most over guy, as per usual, so that means we won't see LA Knight again until Money in the Bank, and then we won't see him again in another PLE till Royal Rumble, then WrestleMania, then next SummerSlam, because Triple H only likes to wheel him out for certain events, but he's here, and he showed up. Jay Uso, I believe, takes the pin. I'm not sure who took the pin. Yeah, no, it was Jay Uso. Jay Uso takes the pin from LA Knight after they were going to go for the 1D, right? I don't do match, like, play-by-play. Sorry, I just don't do that. And I'm also doing this with no notes. They're going to do the 1D on LA Knight, but Solo Sikoa comes up behind Jimmy and Solo thumbs him. Simone spikes him. That allows LA Knight to get the jump on Jay, BFT, blunt force trauma, BFT, whatever it is, and 1, 2, 3. Now I'm hoping Jacob gets mad at Jacob gets mad at Jay for losing the match, because the Bloodline, they lost their match, and Solo Sikoa in the end is like, he's baby facing it up. Give it up for us. He's like, give me a hug, LA Knight. At first LA Knight's no, but then LA Knight's like, okay. I think that wasn't planned. It seemed like LA Knight wanted to be all serious and stuff, but he just couldn't help himself because the goofiness of Solo just kind of drew him in, and he smiled and they hugged. Royce Keys, you know, he didn't lose. He got on a PLE. I don't think his stock is that much different, but it would have been different, I guess, if he had taken the pin. So, like, Royce Keys did bump up a little bit here, but Solo Sikoa is the guy that really bumped up during this feud. I hope he stays a babyface. He did not turn like everybody thought he was, so maybe we let Solo remain a babyface, and he doesn't have to rejoin the bloodline, or have him face Roman and take the title off him, and then he becomes the leader of the bloodline. Full circle on Solo as the bloodline leader, huh? Anybody? Let me know in the comments below. Do you want Solo to replace Roman Reigns as the Bloodline Tribal Chief? And then next match. This was the Nick Aldis match, I believe. Oh, there were 6 matches. Nick Aldis versus Gunther. Ooh, this one was good. So Nick Aldis comes out in his National Treasure gimmick. I think it was National Treasure. It's basically what he was in NWA, another promotion. There's NWA and TNA. That's where he was mainly champion in. And I haven't seen Nick Aldis wrestle in a long time. I used to watch him in TNA. Where I watched TNA right up until Hogan got into TNA, and then I kind of like bowed out. And he was there at that time. This was a good match. I was so happy that Nick Aldis really showed up. There was a couple times where he was a little wibbly wobbly on the top rope, but it didn't matter. It was just a good showing, and I was really rooting for him, even though I knew logically that Gunther was gonna beat him. That it just didn't matter. This was the underdog story, the comeback kid story, and you were just like, come on. And there were a couple moments where you believed that Nick Aldis, the GM that hadn't wrestled in 3 years, was going to beat Gunther. Now it's crazy because it feels like Nick Aldis is like this old guy coming out of retirement, right? But he's younger than Cody Rhodes. He's younger than CM Punk. He's younger than Seth Rollins. He's younger than Roman Reigns. The guy's like 38, 39. So it's like crazy when you really think about it. But yes, Gunther wins. It was the right call, but I'm not gonna lie. Had Nick Aldis won, it would have warmed my heart. This Grinch, my heart would have grew 3 sizes that day. But unfortunately and fortunately, Gunther did win. I get it. I personally, at the last minute, if I was in Gorilla, if I was in Unreal Season 4, I would have been like, change the finish. Make it Nick Aldis. Unreal. But no, they didn't do that, unfortunately. So Nick Aldis wins, and I do understand. Just because I would have booked it different doesn't mean it was the wrong call. Even it made sense why Gunther won. C'est la vie. Okay, so that's 3 matches. I know all 6 matches now. Next match, the 6-women tag match. Surprisingly, they did 2 6-person tag matches on this night. You had the Fatal Attraction versus the Bellas and Paige and Brie being the former tag champions, with Nikki having to bow out at WrestleMania because she got injured. So this match I had very low expectations for, and well, it met it. But when I say that, I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way. I just thought this was going to be a match where honestly, I actually thought that Fatal Attraction would lose. So I guess they got me there. I figured Fatal Attraction would lose because it was a throwaway match, but no, Fatal Attraction wins. Out with the old, in with the new. They say that, they leave, and but yeah, it was a fine match. There was nothing wrong with this match. I just didn't care. I really didn't care. And it's not because I hate the Bellas. They are very important to wrestling history, and so is Paige and all that stuff, but I just was not emotionally invested whatsoever. So I had very low expectations for this match, and well, it didn't go lower than what I thought it would. And it was a fine match. If you enjoyed this match, more power to you. I could see people enjoying it. I just didn't care. And it was a match. It happened. Cool, whatever. And we moved on from it, right? And that probably sounds a lot harsher than I want it to be, but I just don't, like, it was very unmemorable even. They did a couple cannonballs in it. That's all I can really remember. But what really was memorable was after because Paige took the pin, afterwards, we have Nikki Bella turns and attacks Paige. She attacks Paige. And they're like, that's what you get for replacing me. Now, that doesn't really make sense because, you know, they asked her, they literally sought Paige out and asked her to replace her. So I don't know why Nikki is so mad and why Brie wouldn't help her, because Paige has done nothing wrong here. Now, if you want to get mad at Paige for losing the title and then losing this match, that's one thing. But you can't get mad at her for replacing you when you needed to be replaced and you actually asked her to replace you. So, whatever. But the Bellas, they're so much better as heels. In fact, it was SummerSlam, I believe, when this was the feud where Nikki was like, I wish you had died in the womb to Brie. So they're better as heels. I'm very much looking forward to it. Get them off of SmackDown, though. If the Fatal Influence or Fatal Attraction is going to have the belts, the tag team belts as bad guys on SmackDown, get the Bellas on Raw as the baddies. But then again, I guess all the baddies there have the championships too. So I don't know what we're going to do with that. Probably they fight Charlotte Flair once she wins the interim championship tomorrow, whatever. And then the surprise of the night is Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, they come up next. They aren't the main event. It was the right call, but I was shocked that the Undisputed title was not the main event. And we start off with a really cool Street Fighter, because Cody Rhodes is in Street Fighter, but a really cool Street Fighter package to get to bring out Cody Rhodes' entrance, and his skull mask has Giles hair, so I like that. It was cheesy, but I liked it, whatever. Just sue me. And then CM Punk comes out. They wrestle. I guess today was like the 20th anniversary of CM Punk debuted in WWE, and they wrestle. Now, even though the build was very lackluster, I think I gave it a C+, I still had high hopes for the match itself. I had very high hopes for the match itself. I really liked Roman and CM Punk, so I was like, oh yeah, Cody and Punk will do even better. And honestly, it didn't live up to my expectations. I had high hopes for it though, but like if these were my hopes, I think the match was about right here. It wasn't a bad match. It wasn't a bad match at all. But like, I don't know. You know how they keep saying, we've been teasing this for a while. We've been ducking each other for a while. Before the Royal Rumbles of the last 2 years, we've had promos between these two. They had a promo before WrestleMania, after WrestleMania, leading up to this. So it's like they have been kind of like, you know, building this in a way. The build has kind of sucked, but still, the build has been, like, 2 years ago, if this match would have happened 2 years ago, I would have been all in on it. But anyway, so I wasn't, like, too hyped for it, but I thought the match itself was going to be good. No way Roman and Punk is going to be better than Cody and Punk, and it was. Roman did a better job, I gotta say it. I'm not a Cody hater, but, like, this match just did not live up to the expectations, and I don't know what to say. I think Cody Rhodes would appreciate if people put high expectations on him. I really do. And I think Cody Rhodes would not like that he did not meet up to those. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just too old school, but then again, Gunther, Nick Aldis was old school. It's just, I'm not sure what story they were exactly telling here. CM Punk kept injuring his knee. Maybe that's why EO didn't do it earlier, but like, it was fine. The announcers try to keep selling it like this is a clinic, but it just felt like a match, honestly. It felt like this would have been a good main event for like Backlash or King of the Ring or Night of Champions or something like that. But for SummerSlam, I don't know. It was fine. But the main surprise happens when Cody goes for a super Cody cutter. He misses, hits the referee, he goes out. We did trade a couple back and forths of go to sleeps and crossroads, but eventually Randy Orton comes out of nowhere and the crowd, and he does an RKO, which will allow CM Punk to win. Very happy that Cody Rhodes is now out of the title scene, because now he's instantly going to go into a program with Randy Orton, and hopefully they can have the feud that they were supposed to have minus Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee. And this gets Cody away from the title scene, which I do think Cody needs to do. Get away from it for a little bit and re-enter later. But I'm just thinking to myself, why is Randy, they haven't said anything about Randy, and they just throw him in here to have this moment. Randy winks at the crowd. The crowd is cheering. The crowd is cheering Randy Orton. So it's like, this is not the effect that you wanted for Cody Rhodes. Just turn Cody freaking heel. If everyone's going to boo him, and we're going to cheer everybody facing, just turn the guy heel. But regardless, This match, I guess it just never felt like it really ramped up. It just felt like they were always building and building and building, and then it never really just went on fire. It felt like it felt just build, and then referee gets knocked out, Randy does that RKO, done, 1, 2, 3. I don't know what I was expecting, but I expected more, I'll say that. I don't know if that's the right way of saying it. Like I said, it wasn't a bad match, but I just don't think it was main event worthy for SummerSlam, but to be fair, it wasn't the main event. The main event was Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar, and that lived up to the main event. Okay, so straight up, it was in Hell in the Cell, and it did not need to be in Hell in the Cell. So when I say this, I'm saying that it did not need to be in Hell in the Cell. There was no need for the cage. If you can get over that fact, it was a very good match. If this had been a no DQ match, a street fight, a Minneapolis meltdown match, no DQ, then it would have been great. But I do think that people are going to focus really heavy on the fact that it did not need to be in Hell in the Cell, and I do agree with that. If that cage ruined everything for you, then okay. But once you got over that and you just put it in your mind that's a no DQ match, I thought the match was great. I thought the match was really great. You know, Brock Lesnar went through a table. When has Brock ever gone through a table? Like, you know, he goes through a table. There's chair shots. We have ourselves F5s. We have ourselves fall from graces. We have ourselves kickouts. We have Brock Lesnar going all out, pulling the ring apron off, the exposed wood. Hadn't seen that since the Nexus days. And throughout the whole match, I was kind of like, I was worried that Oba was going to lose, but I knew in my heart he was going to win until he pulls up the ring mat, right? Brock Lesnar does, puts Oba in the tombstone, and then he does this tombstone, and I was like, oh my God, it brought me back to WrestleMania 30 when he beat the streak, and I was like, no, at that moment, I knew Oba had lost, and I was heartbroken. 1, 2, kick out. What? Oba kicked out? Yes. And then Oba proceeded to fall from grace, and he wins. Oh, thank God he won. I needed Oba to win, but I thought for a sec they had me with the tombstone. I thought that they were going to give it to Brock Lesnar. So kudos for tricking me. I appreciate that. I love those kind of swerves. And bonus points if you know why I'm wearing the Kane shirt, and I'm mentioning it right now during a Hell in the Cell match. Put that in the comments below. What the correlation of Kane and Hell in the Cell is. But yes, I love this match. It was hard hitting. They got me, and then at the end, Brock, he does the thing where he walks away, but he comes back. He gives Oba a hug, a handshake, and he literally says, give me the mic. I'm the past. This guy's the future. I mean, what more of an endorsement do you need? Oba Femi, he got himself he's in the main event of SummerSlam. Like, Oba Femi is such a big deal that he now, like, literally, like, trumps the title. And I do believe that most people would agree that that was the right match to put at the end. It's very difficult. I'm like 99% always like the championship should go on last. And so for Oba and Brock to knock it out of the park like they did, minus the fact that the Hell in a Cell shouldn't have been there, like, kudos. I enjoyed myself. Even the match that I didn't think would be that good, it wasn't bad. That was the 6-woman tag match. And the match that I thought would be decent, though, I did think Cody and Punk would be better, but it just wasn't. But I like that last match. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad they put Oba over, and, you know, kudos to Brock Lesnar. I'm not doing another retirement video for you, Brock, though. You tricked me at WrestleMania. If you want my tribute video to Brock Lesnar, go the Wednesday after Mania. That's where it is. You get one tribute video from me, Brock. But that said, SummerSlam, what do I give it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed too many commercials. And to be quite honest with you, I think that SummerSlam should be one night, maybe go 4.5 hours, maybe 5. 5 hours tops. And you have like 10 matches, 9 matches. Like, I think this would have been a better one-night thing. But regardless, I did enjoy myself tonight. So please, I'm not paid by WWE. Go look at my last video. I'm literally crashing out about Triple H. So, like, if I think something sucks, I'm gonna tell you something sucks. But if I think something's good, then I think something's good. All right, sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Almond joys have nuts, bombs don't. Oh, yeah. So, anyways. All right, boys. All right, girls. Tomorrow we'll do this all over again. Hot takes in the morning. They'll be live as well. See you. Bye.